The 1978 film Halloween, directed by John Carpenter and also written by Deborah Hill and John Carpenter as well, is considered a horror classic. It's considered a classic for a reason. It still holds up. We all know the story. Halloween night, 1963, a 6-year-old boy named Michael Myers killed his older sister, Judith Myers, for no reason. We don't know why he does it. We just know that he did it and he wasn't sorry about it. He didn't he never said why he did it. There was no motivation. There was no reason. Just like the character Dr. Loomis says in the film, he was just simply pure evil. And that's, nothing wrong with simplicity. Nothing wrong with that. Um, and of course, Michael Myers goes to the mental hospital uh, until one night, 15 years later, 1978, the night before Halloween, he escapes and wreaks havoc on the town. Well, not really wreaks havoc. He starts stalking the local babysitters at all all of October 31st. One of the big reasons why I love this film to death, no pun intended, is the cast and characters. I mean, you have, of course, the late Donald Pleasence playing the great Dr. Loomis, and he's so great in the film. You are totally on his side, and you totally understand why he wants to just stop Michael Myers, why he's willing to do anything to stop this evil from killing people. And even though he not technically let him his escape, but he failed to stop him to escape uh, the night before Halloween. He does go after him, and they do have a kind of uh, Captain Ahab, Moby Dick kind of thing going. Um, and of course, you also have the teenage girls. Um, Laurie Strode, played by, of course, Jamie Lee Curtis, the queen of scream queens uh, for slasher films. And you'll also have uh, Annie Brackett in the film, and Linda, her two friends, uh, played by Nancy Stevens and PJ Soles. They're great in the film. They're very likable, and that's the thing about this movie. Also, as well, is you have great likable characters when they're on screen. When the killer's not around, when Michael's not around, you like them. You care for them. You care to grow sympathy for them, and when the killer does attack them, you care for them. And if they die, there's a connection, and that's the main staple on not just slasher films but horror films, not just horror films. Any films. You gotta like your characters, and John Carpenter and Deborah Hill did a great job of writing these characters. And of course, you have a few other characters. Sheriff Brackett, who's the father of Annie. Um, Most of his scenes are with Dr. Loomis, where they're trying to work together and finding Michael, but Sheriff Brackett kind of doesn't believe him, but he's still willing to do his job because he's the sheriff of Haddonfield. And of course, you have Michael Myers, who is also known as the Boogeyman, or the Shape. In the script of the film, he was just known as the Shape. He's I like to call him evil in human form, or the boogeyman behind the shadows, all that stuff. And of course, the kids in the film. You have Tommy Doyle and Lindsay. They're being babysat by Laurie and Annie. They have all the kids in this movie, at least, believe in this boogeyman, which is Michael Myers. Not that they believe in Michael Myers is the boogeyman, but just the boogeyman in general. How in times like Halloween, the boogeyman, the monster, the villain, is there to scare children and or attack children or attack innocent people, um, in a way to scare you, you know. And that's what I really like, how John Carpenter's directing and his writing really focuses on that. And I thought he did a great job capturing that essence of a boogeyman. Michael Myers, the villain of this film, is there's a reason why Michael Myers is considered the top boogeyman of horror film. Simply because just something about him is scary, especially in just if you just look at the original. He may look like a human, he may walk like a human, but he's not. He's not a man of flesh and blood. He is, like I said, evil, the boogeyman. Evil, everything that's evil in the world, and that's what John Carpenter was going for. And I'll get to that about the ending of the film. Spoiler alert. But Michael Myers, of course, you get the iconic mask and the iconic overalls and the iconic butcher knife, and of course, we all know this. The mask was just a William Shatner Star Trek mask that they spray painted white, and they cut the ears a bit bigger. Not the ears, the eyes. The eyes. And so technically, if we're scared of Michael Myers because of his mask, we're scared of William Shatner from back in the day. Oh, just a whiter version of William Shatner. So I think that's kind of funny. But anyway, you know, for me, not just the mask, not just the knife, not just the overalls, but just the way John Carpenter, how he shoots Michael when either he's in the shadows or where you see him, or you just hear his breathing. He's just all around. You just feel his presence throughout the film after he escapes. And not even after he escapes the mental hospital, after he kills his sister in the beginning of the film, when it cuts to October 30th, 1978, when you have the scene with Dr. Loomis and Marion Crane, you feel his presence before they get there and they realize Michael has escaped. That's just great direction by John Carpenter, and nobody has been able to capture that presence of Michael Myers. Even the sequels, some of the sequels that I like, haven't even been close to capturing that great creepy, scary essence of Michael Myers that John Carpenter intended and masterfully pulled off in the original Halloween. Going back to Laurie Strode, one of the reasons why I root for her and I care for her character is because she's innocent but not naive in some way. She's likable, she's pretty, but she's not dumb. She's not weak. She is scared naturally, but she doesn't quite make dumb mistakes. I would say not as much as some other characters in horror films or other lead characters in other horror films do. And by the end of the film, I'm totally on her side. I'm totally rooting for her. And when she, either she, defends herself or thinks that she defeated or killed Michael Myers, you're cheering on. You're cheering on this girl, and you don't want her to die. And and you were glad that she makes it at the end. Um, and Jamie Lee Curtis did a really good job. Uh, it was one of her first films, so she didn't have much acting experience at the time, but she pulled it off really well. And Laurie Strode is one of my favorite horror characters, horror leads, lead girls, scream queens, whatever you want to say. And you know, Jamie Lee Curtis is Laurie Strode. Enough said. Of course, if you're gonna talk about Halloween, you gotta talk about the score, the theme song, the iconic theme song that John Carpenter himself composed. And the funny thing is, the original cut of Halloween didn't have any music, did not have that kind of theme song, score, not song, but it didn't have it originally, and they showed it to one of the producers, and they thought it was lame, and they thought the movie wasn't scary, even though it was shot well, acted well. It was the same movie, pretty much what we know, just without the music, and they thought it wasn't effective in any way possible. So they said, add music, let's see what you got. And he composed the song that we know, the score that we know to this day, and they loved it. They thought it was 100 times better. And that just shows the power of music. Music does make a difference in film, and especially Halloween. Because I seen one clip of the film without the music. It was a scene where you see Michael stalking Tommy Doyle, the boy. It doesn't have the music. You just hear the birds chirping and the leaves falling, and it's kind of awkward. But that scene works with the music when you watch the film, and that's one of my favorite scenes, actually. That whole scene where the kids are picking on Tommy, saying the boogeyman's coming for you, and he drops his pumpkin and it breaks. And one of the other kids that was bullying him runs, and he bumps into Michael Myers, and you have that jump scare, which, today's horror films, we all love to bash the ones that have a lot of jump scares. But this is one of the jump scares in the film that works. It works so well with the music and just the way John Carpenter sets up the scene and the mood. It's great. And I have to play the music. So let's hear some of the music. Okay, that's enough of the music. I don't want to get that copyright bullshit on me because of YouTube weird rules. The ending of the film wasn't intended to be a setup for a sequel or a cliffhanger in any way. John Carpenter said the ending of the film where Michael gets shot 6 times and falls to his supposedly death, and then Dr. Loomis sees that he's gone. It was supposed to represent evil is everywhere. Even though he shot and killed Michael Myers, his presence, of evil was everywhere. Everywhere in the town, everywhere you are. And that was the point of the ending. It's a great ending. And I especially love the line where Laurie says, "Was that the boogeyman?" And Dr. Loomis says, "As a matter of fact, it was." And that's what Michael Myers is and was intended to be. Final thoughts on Halloween. I love it to death, no pun intended. It was a classic then, it's a classic now, and it's always going to be a classic. And it's John Carpenter's best film, in my opinion. It's his masterpiece. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. What do you guys think about Halloween? Of course, you loved it. I'm assuming you guys loved it. Who doesn't? Write down who is your favorite character in the film, favorite scene, favorite line, favorite scare, favorite moment, whatever. My favorite character was Dr. Loomis. Donald Pleasence did an amazing job. Favorite line: "Hey jerk, speed kills." And the car, does Michael stops the car. I love that moment. There's a lot of great moments, a lot of great lines. I can't really pick a favorite. But I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Thanks for watching. I will continue on reviewing the rest of the Halloween films. Hopefully I get it done this month. All of them. All of the Halloween films. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching and happy Halloween.